tell me one thing. I understand that everyone is contacting the prospects on multiple channels, right? How do you deal with prospect fatigue? So let's say, there different people might have different type of mindsets, right? If let's say, if I am a bit skeptical, I might see you like, you are spamming me on multiple places, and that could make that prospect fatigue. So how do you overcome with that challenge?
This is, I would probably say, a $1 million question. Probably, we are now discussing like the biggest mystery maybe in SDR job. It's not easy. It's a challenge, and it requires creativity, right? Sticking to the same outbound strategies day by day might not be the wisest thing to do. That is why, going back to my previous statement where I said curiosity over being right, you don't need to be right, you don't need to know everything, but you need to be curious, and you need to keep this curiosity and creativity. We mentioned like not all channels are performing the same, but not all accounts are the same, right? You might have a success with one account, and it seems that prospects within that account are all opening emails, they are reading your emails, and they are even responding to your emails. But then you have other accounts that have like that you get zero response rate. So you need to be creative, and you need to be ready to adjust. Going back to your previous question regarding the prospect fatigue, it's probably you cannot appear as spammy and desperate salesperson, right? You need to balance your steps in cadence and make immediate follow-ups for high engaging prospects. So if you see your prospect that is opening your email 2-3 times and you still get no response from this guy, you wanna call this guy in the first half an hour. That's why I said you need to immediately follow up. The follow-up, it's really about the timing. If you wait like a couple of hours, or even worse, couple of days, the follow-up will not bring you results. But, and you are right, you cannot just keep chasing your prospects on all these different channels if they don't find your message relevant to them, or if it is not personalized enough. They can always report your emails as spam, and that's gonna affect your company domain, going back to our previous concerns about email deliverability. So you are absolutely right there. You cannot appear as spammy. You cannot really be salesy all the time, be desperate salesman who really needs to make his month's quota so as to make some bonus at the end of the month or quarter, right? But instead, you really need to balance carefully your steps within the cadence. I saw your steps that you have like a first email opener, then you have a LinkedIn, then you have a call task. I do the same. We can probably discuss a little bit more about that, but then you wanna really start following up and maybe push a little bit more only those prospects that show some kind of interest. I call them high engaging prospects, the prospects that are really reading your emails, and you can clearly see that your emails are being opened and most probably viewed and read. And they accept your LinkedIn connection request, so we call them high engaging prospects, and we treat them differently, which means we take those prospects from one sequence and we replace them to the second sequence that we usually call that second one high intent sequence, high engaging sequence. We are placing all prospects that are showing high interest to our product, and we keep treating them differently. So you see, we start making differences between the prospects that show no interest or little interest to those that are kind of showing high interest in our product or our solution. So this is how we are trying to avoid this prospect fatigue, because you really don't want to appear as spammy and desperate.